if you're constantly feeling like all that you're doing is putting out fires and running on empty, then you're in the right place, and I'm glad you're here. Today, we're talking about how to shift from that exhausting survival mode into a state of feminine flow that feels so much better. And I promise, by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what's keeping you stuck in survival mode, how to recognize when you're in it, and this very practical steps that you can take to shift into that feminine flow state of softness and ease that we all crave. I'll even share 5 actionable homework assignments that you can start implementing today. They're really easy. They won't even feel like homework. In fact, they'll make you feel amazing. But before we dig in, I've got a free resource for you. It's my Effortless Feminine Energy cheat sheet with 10 micro habits for softness and ease that take 5 minutes or less. These are 10 super easy ways to bring more feminine energy and softness into your day, even if you're crazy busy. The link is in the description box below, and it's completely free. And honestly, it's awesome if I do say so myself. So grab it now before you forget. These little shifts really do add up and can help make you feel so much better each day. Hi and welcome. I'm Amanda, a full-time working mom, wife, and business owner, and I teach high-achieving women just like you how to live a life of feminine softness and ease that you crave, despite all the demands that I know you have to juggle. Let's be real, women today are often stuck in survival mode rather than feminine flow. That constant state of alertness is absolutely exhausting. And what's worse, it's completely counterproductive to creating the life that you actually want. The truth is, this chronic state of survival mode isn't just making you tired, it's fundamentally changing how your brain and your body work. And I'm here to tell you, it doesn't have to be this way anymore. Let me paint a picture of living in survival mode. This might sound familiar. You're getting triggered easily by things that shouldn't be a big deal. You're making mountains out of molehills. You're constantly scanning for threats or drama, almost like you're looking for problems. Physically, you might notice that your heart rate is up. Your muscles are tense, and over time, this can develop into anxiety and depression. This is your brain on high alert, focusing on challenges instead of looking for opportunities. So how do you know if you're in survival mode? Well, here are some pretty clear signs. You find it hard to make decisions. Even small choices feel overwhelming. You lack motivation. Even the things that you used to enjoy now feel draining. You have persistent, unresolved stress affecting all different areas of your life. You can't focus because your mind feels overloaded. Your thoughts feel overwhelming. You experience mood swings and irritability. There's constant tension in your body. You have low adaptability and patience. You rarely appreciate others' efforts or even notice them. You feel completely overwhelmed by your responsibilities. And frankly, you're living a version of your life that doesn't feel like it was meant for you, or like it's not the version that you want to be living. And what's happening psychologically is that your system is flooded, absolutely flooded with cortisol and adrenaline, and it's keeping you in fight mode. And this makes softness feel unsafe because your body literally thinks it's in a war zone. And the core issue here is what I like to call a dysregulated nervous system. I say that like I made it up. I didn't make it up. Think of it like a tangled cord in your body that's disrupting the natural flow of energy. This affects everything, literally everything. Your digestion, your immune system, your mood, everything. Our bodies are designed to go into fight or flight mode when threatened. And that made sense in the caveman days when we were flying from lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. The problem is modern life keeps many of us constantly in the survival mode, and the consequences are real. Anxiety, digestion issues, depression, even autoimmune disease. Because our body doesn't know the difference between a bear chasing us and our kids running late for school. A 2020 study published by the Journal of Psychosomatic Research found that chronic stress activation in the sympathetic nervous system, our fight or flight response, was significantly linked to inflammation and autoimmune conditions. And this isn't just about feeling bad. It's actually changing your physical health. And I want to be really clear about something. Living in feminine flow does not mean that your life will always be perfect and soft. That's a major misconception, and it's not serving anyone. Feminine energy isn't about those Instagram curated perfect moments. It's not about looking like you have it all together all the time. It's about navigating through the inevitable imperfections of life with grace and a feeling of being rooted in yourself and your feminine energy deeply. It's not about having a perfect life or one that looks perfect, but it's about finding authenticity in difficult moments. And I know so many of us women feel like we're failing if we don't look perfect all the time. But I want you to remember something. Your existence itself is a miracle, and you need to have reverence in that. Because feminine energy isn't just about beauty and ease. It's about allowing yourself to rest when you need to, heal at your own pace, be in stillness without guilt, and to bring peace to yourself. This is in contrast to masculine energy, which is all about driving forward and pushing through and achieving at all costs. So how do we actually make the shift? Well, it starts with simply acknowledging your situation, as so many things do. First, recognize that you're in survival mode. And this isn't about judgment, it's about awareness, which is critical. Understand that it's flexible and not the end of the world. I find it helpful to write down your thoughts and your feelings to better understand your state. Next, practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself instead of harsh with self-criticism. Understand that survival mode is a response to stress, not a personal failure. You're not broken. Your system is trying to protect you. Creating a healthy routine is absolutely key here. You need to establish a simple morning routine, maybe some stretching or yoga, something that anchors your day and starts it off from a very grounded, solid place. Take time for yourself as a priority, not as an afterthought. So plan your day thoughtfully rather than reactively. Focus on nutrition and soft movement. And there's a really powerful gut-brain connection that most people don't fully understand or fully appreciate. The balance of good bacteria versus bad bacteria in your gut impacts your mood and even your personality. That might sound crazy, but it's true. And processed foods affect your vibration and mental health in ways that we're only beginning to understand. Your gut is your literal second brain. That's not just a saying, it's science. And I'm not talking about strict dieting here, because honestly, that creates more stress. I'm talking about emphasizing healthy eating that supports your energy levels, even your skin quality and your overall radiance, because food really can be medicine in a preventative way, at least. I mean, let's not get too carried away with that ideology. I like to follow the 80-20 rule for balance. I eat very well 80% of the time. I try to avoid processed foods as much as I can. But 10 to 20% of the time, I'm not perfect. And that feels like a really nice, balanced way to live my life. Because this way, you're not causing more anxiety through perfectionism. Gentle movement is also really critical here. Restorative yoga or slow stretching or dancing to music that you love. Commit to just 10 minutes a day, or even to start maybe 10 minutes 3 times a week, whatever you can do, because those 10 minutes can literally begin to unravel years of stored stress in your body. And not only is soft movement like that wonderful for your nervous system, but it's also really amazing for getting you in alignment with your feminine energy. Setting boundaries is a non-negotiable if you want to shift out of survival mode. And this means stopping your people-pleasing behaviors, making yourself a priority, learning to say no without guilt. That's the key, without guilt. Sometimes you need to let others be upset rather than sacrificing your needs. Their emotions are not your responsibility. Connecting with nature is incredibly healing. Walk barefoot on the grass when you can. Spend time outdoors, and that will really help to reduce stress. Use nature to ground yourself in the present moment. There's something about being outside that just puts things into perspective and makes everything feel like it's going to be okay. My problems aren't so big, are they? Set small and achievable goals. Focus on manageable tasks rather than overwhelming yourself with huge projects, and celebrate small accomplishments, because that way you can build your confidence through consistent small wins. Limit your exposure to stress. Identify your major stressors and reduce contact with them when possible. Take breaks from social media. This is huge. Distance yourself from negative people or environments. And here's the big one. Allow things to be easy rather than making everything so damn hard for yourself. We often complicate things unnecessarily. Self-care isn't selfish, and I can't emphasize this enough. Beauty routines aren't just for appearance, but for honoring your feminine energy. And these rituals can anchor your feminine energy during really challenging times. Even when you don't feel your best, try simple rituals like a very minimal makeup routine, or just simply washing your hair and making sure it's always clean, wearing soft, cozy fabrics, putting on jewelry that you love. Do these things even if you're not feeling your best or deserving, because you are deserving just by existing. And by doing these things, it's going to help you feel more deserving, even though that shouldn't be necessary because you just inherently are. And I'm going to be really direct here. Controlling behavior makes a woman unattractive and exhausted. Control puts you into your masculine energy so fast. All that pushing and driving and controlling. Whereas feminine energy is about surrender, not forcing. And this doesn't mean being passive, but it means trusting the process. Try this mantra. I trust myself to make the right decision. Trust your intuition and trust that as long as you are following the butterflies, taking each next right feeling step, you'll be okay and are headed towards what's meant for you, even if you can't exactly see it playing out in front of your face right now. Receptivity is core feminine energy. It strengthens your capacity to flow instead of force. Doing everything yourself doesn't make you a better person. In fact, it often leads to more stress and resentment. There's absolutely no shame in seeking help. And I've noticed that those who need help the most are often the most resistant to receiving it. So many women struggle with receiving kindness and offers, gestures, compliments, anything. So I want you to see yourself as deserving of help. Let go of control and let people help you in their own way. This means letting people hold doors open for you, accepting help without guilt. Stop apologizing constantly. It really kills feminine energy. Letting others take things off your plate or outsourcing to those who do certain tasks better than you are going to have a profound impact on your life. And we've been conditioned to believe that rest equals laziness. But here's the thing. Masculine produces and feminine creates. Women's bodies follow different cycles than men. We have hormonal shifts. We're affected by the lunar cycles. The idea that we should produce the same output every day is completely unrealistic for most women. Have you heard of cycle syncing? I talk about it on this channel a lot, but it's about aligning your life with your menstrual cycle, following your natural body rhythms instead of fighting them. The 9-to-5 work week world was built for men's consistent energy level. It often doesn't honor our cyclical nature. And you're not lazy if you rest. You're in tune with your body. And proper rest actually allows you to glow up in ways that constant pushing never will. You don't have to be perfectly feminine or radiant or sexy all the time. Softening towards yourself actually increases your natural radiance just on its own. And we need to reject that industrial revolution thinking that values people only for what they produce, because you have inherent value as a woman and as a human being without needing to do anything. You have power over your circumstances, and taking control of your life and how you want it to feel means prioritizing what brings you peace and joy. And we often make life harder by forgetting our power. And the formula is really simple. If you don't like something, change it. Unnecessary hardship is often self-imposed. And there's a really strange paradox that I've noticed. We desire ease, but we feel uncomfortable when it arrives. We become so familiar with the struggle and the worry and the stress that feels normal, and therefore that feels comfortable. Does that sound familiar at all? Things are going really well, finally, but you feel anxious or on edge, or you're waiting for something to go wrong. You're waiting for the other shoe to drop. You're unable to actually relax and enjoy the moment that you've been waiting so long for. And this happens because we've become so accustomed to hardship and difficulty that peace feels foreign and weird, and we don't want it. Well, we do want it, but we unknowingly and unintentionally push it away. And this is exactly what so often leads us to our self-sabotage tendencies, what leads us to self-sabotage our own happiness. So we need to practice finding comfort in peace, becoming familiar with ease, expecting things to be easy. We need to get out of our own way and stop the self-sabotage. Life gets to be easy. We just need to choose it. Now, I promised you some actionable homework, so here are 5 things that you can do right now to start getting out of survival mode. First, create a morning check-in ritual. When you wake up, before looking at your phone, place one hand on your heart and one on your belly, and take 3 deep breaths and ask yourself, what do I need to feel good today? Listen to the answer and try to honor it, even in the smallest way that you possibly can. Second, try a boundary setting practice. Identify one area where you're completely overextending yourself. Write down a simple, kind, but firm response to next time this situation arises. And you might want to practice saying it out loud in the mirror a couple times until it feels natural, because chances are it doesn't yet. Third, commit to nature grounding if you can. Spend at least 10 minutes outside with no phone, no distractions, nothing. Just notice the natural world around you. Feel your feet on the ground. And this simple practice can reset your nervous system really quickly and really effectively. Fourth, take on the receiving challenge. For 1 full week, accept every offer of help that comes your way. No deflecting, no, I've got it. Just say thank you and receive, and notice how amazing that feels. And fifth, create an evening release ritual. Before bed, write down 3 things that are causing you stress, and next to each one, I want you to write, I release the need to control this. And then just close your notebook. And I know it's small, but this symbolic act helps your brain let go of what you can't control. And don't forget to grab my free Effortless Feminine Energy 10 Micro Habits for Softness and Ease in 10 minutes or less cheat sheet down below. The link is down there. And I promise these micro habits can make such a difference in your daily experience and becoming aligned with that beautiful, soft, delicious feminine energy. If you found this video helpful, I know that you'll love this one where I dive deep into healing your wounded feminine energy. It's the perfect next step on your journey. And I hope that you'll subscribe so that way I can see you next time. And until then, stay aligned.